Okay, deep breath. Everyone, take a deep breath. Everyone, take a deep breath. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. This is Eagle Striker, the home of Nigerian football, and we are live for the post-match show following the Super Eagles 1-0 win over Guinea-Bissau. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let's calm down a little bit. But I don't even know what to say. That was very, very, very unimpressive. That was very unimpressive. We are supposed to be winning this game properly, and we are so toothless. We are so wasteful. We are so uninspiring. Aquada said violence time. This was a very, very unimpressive, disappointing performance. I don't even know what to say. We won the game by an own goal. I mean, fair enough. Osimhen would have scored that goal if the defender didn't smash it in. At least I want to believe that Osimhen would have scored it. Osimhen has been missing many chances, but I want to believe that he would have scored that one for sure if the defender didn't tap it into his or smash it into his own net. But it's very, very uninspiring, very poor that we're performing like this so far this tournament. We struggled to draw our first game against Equatorial Guinea, missed chances, and everybody was like, oh, well, at least we're creating chances. That's what the players were saying. Second game against Ivory Coast, we thought that Ivory Coast were a good team. So we beat Ivory Coast 1-0. We were happy, we were celebrating because we thought Ivory Coast were a good team. But that same Ivory Coast just got slapped by Equatorial Guinea. They just got slapped 4-0 by Equatorial Guinea. We thought Ivory Coast were a good team, so we're kind of happy. Penalty goal. And then Equatorial Guinea slapped Guinea-Bissau as well. And I was expecting that, okay, Super Eagles will come against Guinea-Bissau and show some kind of dominance, and win the game. But no, it was actually a very close game. They threatened us, we threatened them. We wasted our chances. Some of the headers that Osimhen missed, bread and butter for him in Italy. Yes, winning is the most important thing, but obviously we wanted to finish top of our group. I mean, it would have been hard for us to beat Guinea-Bissau 5-0, to be fair. Equatorial Guinea smashed Ivory Coast and, they rightly topped the group. They've been the best team in our group so far this tournament. But yeah, let me just quickly take you through my thoughts. We started with another 3-4-3 formation, same setup as the game against Ivory Coast. Bali was in goal. Ajayi, Omero, and Calvin Bassey in defense. For Bali, I would say Bali had a fine game. Bali, in my opinion, was probably our best player today. He made 5 saves. Every single time that we needed him, he made the save. And I have to give him his credit. He looks like a pretty solid presence in defense, in goal. He's also completing most of his passes. He had 88% pass success rate, so he's not just giving the ball back to the opponents all the time. I'll say Bali probably our best player today. 1 duels, 1-2 fouls for us. But it's sad. Frankly, it's sad that we play against a team that is Guinea-Bissau. With all due respect to Guinea-Bissau, and we come at the end saying that our goalkeeper was our best player. It wasn't very inspiring. In defense, Omero, Ajayi, Calvin Bassey. I liked Calvin Bassey's game today. Made 4 tackles, blocked 1 shot, was pretty good in defense. He also created 1 goal scoring chance that potentially, could have led to a goal and probably should have led to a goal. I'll give Calvin Bassey credit. Won most of his duels. He's always solid. He has that physical presence. Kenneth Omero also 4 tackles, 6 clearances in typical Omero fashion. No nonsense centre back. Ball comes, ball goes back. He doesn't do too much. He doesn't play with any kind of flair. Mostly played short passes. Completed most of his passes. All in all, good performance, I would say, by Omero. Shemi Ajayi as well. I'll give Shemi Ajayi credit. Our defense, they didn't concede a goal, even though that we considered a few opportunities. But they were pretty good. Shemi Ajayi didn't have too much work to do. He made just 1 tackle, made just 1 clearance, and won 4 duels in the game. So it wasn't the busiest defender on the afternoon or on the evening. But still, I'll give him credit because he didn't make any mistakes and he didn't, do a bad job. All I know, from the left-hand side, created 2 goal-scoring chances, was trying to be one of our Omero created the goal. So, credits to, that's right. So credits to Kenneth Omero. All I know was from the left hand side, trying to be inventive, trying to be instrumental. Of course, most of his crosses, if I look at it correctly, most of his crosses were not hitting the target, were not really quite getting to the player. Not his best performance, not as good as he looked in the game against Ivory Coast. But at the end of the day, I don't think he was terrible. I don't think he was that bad. Bright Osayi Samuel on the right hand side, right wing back, also created 2 chances in this game. But at the same time, Bright Osayi Samuel wasn't at his usual best that we've seen him in the Super Eagles colours since he made his debut. I also think that he could have had, a few better decisions, could have created better for us. But at the same time, he did create two chances, completed most of his passes, lost possession a few too many times, but, I wouldn't knock him too much. In our midfield, I think that's where we struggled a little bit. Joe Aribo, frankly, I'm a fan of Joe Aribo. I like Joe Aribo, but it's hard to defend his selection over and over again. In the first half, he was pretty much a passenger. In the first half, me that was watching on TV and Aribo that was on the field, we were essentially contributing the same thing to the game, nothing. And in the second half, I think he picked it up a little bit, but no chance created in the game. He had 1 shot on target, but not really anything that we're talking about. Didn't really fight for the ball in the middle of the park. Nothing. He was pretty much just strolling around, and didn't contribute too much. I like Joe Aribo. I know a lot of people are going to criticize him. A lot of people have been criticizing him. I don't know what is wrong. Maybe they should even have just played Onyedika ahead of him. Frankly, Onyedika doesn't necessarily have to be a DM. I think Onyedika would have at least run around the field, contributed more in this game than somebody that is just walking around. And when the ball comes, okay, pass it back. There were a few times that he got advanced in his positioning close to the box, and I was waiting to see, okay, can Joe Aribo string something out of thin air? Can he do something? And no, nothing was just happening for us. Frank Onyeka on the other, side of him, also in midfield. I think he kind of went back to the performance that he had against Equatorial Guinea, whereby he's sitting back, he's the DM, and he's not really sure what to do. He's not really sure where to be. Or maybe he's just playing to instruction and the coach is the one that is making him look bad. But at the same time, I just felt like Onyeka could have contributed more in this game. While he was on, no chances created, no goal, no assist, no shots at all. He won 6 duels. He didn't make any successful tackle. The only real contribution of note is the 2 interceptions that he made in the game. But for somebody that is playing as your DM, you would expect him to be more imposing in midfield and be able to contribute more to the team, which we didn't quite see today. In attack, Samuel Chukwueze. I don't want to keep talking about Chukwueze, because it can look as if, Nigerians sometimes, people will now start saying, oh, you have beef with this player, you don't like that player, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. But Chukwueze, I'm not a professional footballer. I've never played professional football. I've not even played semi-pro. The only football I've played is with my friends, local league, all those kind of things. But I think I have better decision making than Chukwueze. It sounds funny to say, and I'm joking when I say it. He's a professional. He plays at the highest level. But Chukwueze's decision making, my God, I don't know how he thinks while playing. I don't know if he doesn't think while playing, if he just lets his body flow and just do whatever comes to his body. But man, Chukwueze's performances are killing me, fam. They're honestly killing me. It's the handball I was even looking for when he just blasted the ball into the defender. I'm like, if they give you a handball, I'll almost gonna slap the ref. But what are you expecting? Everybody, including the Guinea-Bissau players, including all the fans watching at home, everybody knows that Chukwueze wants to come back on his left foot. And if you're that one-dimensional, you have to find ways to be clinical and be inventive. You have to mix it up a little bit, run down the flank, cut inside when you see a good opportunity, try to find passes. He wasn't doing all of that. I think there was one good pass that he played for, I think Moses Simon, on the edge of the box. But other than that, he gets into good positions and then he just plays as if there is a hole in the defender's body. You just smash it against the defender. And I'm like, bro, what are you expecting to happen? or he'll just make a poor decision and then the chance has gone. I honestly don't know what's happening to Chukwueze. I like Chukwueze. We've been supporting him since his youth days playing for Nigeria. But compared to 2019, when Chukwueze was actually good at the AFCON, and then 4 years or 5 years later, he's struggling at the AFCON now. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what is going on. But Chukwueze needs to improve. We are going into the knockout round. We cannot keep on playing like this. We cannot be so bad in attack, because against teams like Senegal, the tough teams in the competition, we are not going to have many chances to waste and then pray for one own goal or pray for one penalty. We have to do better in attack. We have to play better passes. We have to be more clinical. We have to make better decisions. And unfortunately, it's just not happening. I'll switch to Moses Simon on the other side. Simon, in the last AFCON, cooked Guinea-Bissau. Absolutely cooked Guinea-Bissau. I don't know, maybe that's why the coach said, oh, this guy has had good games against these guys. Let me put him in today's game. But Simon wasn't so good. Simon's whole game is to dribble. Simon's whole game is to dribble. And when you have players like that, imagine a Jeremy Doku, when somebody's whole game is to dribble past his defender and then maybe shoot or cross, when you only complete one dribble in the entire, 90 minutes that you're on the field, essentially, you did nothing. If your whole game is to dribble and you only complete one dribble in 90 minutes, you really didn't contribute anything. And that's what happened to Moses Simon today. Most of his dribbles, the defender will end up catching up with him, winning the tackle. He didn't really put any good balls into the box for us. He created one chance, one chance in a game, which probably you'd say we should have taken advantage of. And he also missed one chance. I mean, depending on how you look at it. But still, I don't know. Simon maybe might need to switch his game up a little bit. Maybe people just know how he's going to play and they are used to it. Yeah, he created the goal. That's why I said he also created one chance. He created the goal. If the defender didn't smash it, Osimhen would have scored it, so it would have been an assist. But he's not looking great otherwise. Maybe if Osimhen had scored that goal and he had one assist to his name, we might be looking at it differently. But the fact that he couldn't complete most of his dribbles, most of his balls were not finding their man, I just think it's a bit tough. Out of his 4 crosses in the game, only one that found his man. So it's a bit tough. And then Victor Osimhen, our star striker, our number 9, our best player in Africa, everybody's best player in Africa, one of the best in the world, 8th best player in the world, best striker in the world probably, or whatever. Osimhen Victor, please, if we need to do praise and worship, if we need to do special prayer, we need to do deliverance, we need to do something, we will do it. Because I do not understand why Osimhen is not playing like Osimhen. Osimhen is playing like that fake Osimhen that you see on Twitter. I do not understand why Osimhen is not playing like the Osimhen that we see every week. And I wouldn't say no supply, because the few chances he gets, he misses them. So I wouldn't necessarily put it on no supply. The headers that he missed today, those are bread and butter for Osimhen in Napoli. Osimhen scores beautiful goals every week in Napoli. He scores with his head. They will cross one ball that is far behind him. Osimhen will take 4 steps backward. He will jump higher than anybody else, and he will head it in. So Osimhen scores fantastic headers. Even when the cross is not good, he will score fantastic headers. And then now this AFCON, I don't know what's going on. Header comes wide. Chance comes wide. I honestly don't know what to say. I cannot insult Osimhen because he is a good player. He is a good player. Nobody can take that away. But he needs to take his chances. He needs to take his chances. Maybe if he scored that goal that was tapped, that was smashed in by the defender, if the ball had come to him and he would have tapped that in, maybe that would have brought his confidence back up. And he would have been able to do more in the game, maybe have got another goal. I predicted that Osimhen will score hat-trick today, so I feel very bad because I failed my prediction. I look like a dummy in my prediction, but I'm not insulting him. For me, that are saying support him, we're supporting him. I'm sure even his coach will point out his flaws and his misses to him. That doesn't mean we're not supporting him, but we're analyzing the game. We're talking about what happened, and frankly, he's not being clinical. So far this tournament, he's not been great. For the Osimhen that we know, we are expecting more. If I was the one missing these chances, nobody be talking about it, because what do you expect from AyoT when he's playing ball? But when you raise your standard that high, when you become a superstar, people are going to talk about you missing opportunities. When you become a superstar, people are going to talk about it. And you cannot say they're wrong for talking about it, because they talk about it when you do well. So when you don't do well, they will talk about it. It's just the way life works. Osimhen really, really needs to improve. You know, I can say AyoT that top midfielder. No, in my day, I was actually a center back. In my day, I was a center back. You know, 6 foot, aggressive, you know, killing everybody. But yes, back to the Super Eagles players. Off the bench, we saw Ademola Lookman come on and try to help. You know, he played only 10 minutes of the game. He had only 3 touches of the ball the entire time. So I cannot really talk too much. You know, I cannot really talk too much about his performance if he had only 3 touches. We saw Zaidu Sanusi come on towards the end of the game. You know, Zaidu Sanusi also played 10 minutes, but he was able to create one decent opportunity that we wasted as well. I think they ruled that one out for offside eventually or something like that. But Sanusi, when he first got the ball, he delayed that a little bit. You know, he had to count leg. Eventually, when he crossed the ball in, it was actually quite a good cross, quite a decent cross. And then Lookman took the first shot. I think Lookman's shot was blocked, and then the rebound fell to Osimhen. Eventually, we no score goal. I don't know. Alex Iwobi came on, played 27 minutes, replaced Joaribo. You know, tried to get us in the game a little bit, completed most of his passes, but I cannot really say I was too pleased with his contribution. Frankly, I don't think I was pleased with anybody's contribution today. Rafael Onyedika came on for Frank Onyeka as well. I'm happy to see Rafael Onyedika make his AFCON debut, get some minutes on the field. You know, Onyedika, nothing surprises me about Onyedika. I watch him a lot. I know what he's going to do. Onyedika is going to play you short passes. Onyedika is going to play simple ball, try to give the ball to his quote-unquote more creative players and allow them to do a job. You know, he would compete, he would get into duels, he would make tackles when he gets the opportunity to, you know, and he will commit fouls and he will likely get a yellow card. He didn't get a yellow card today, but if he plays next match, he'll probably get a yellow card. That's the way Onyedika does. Onyedika will do you like 1 yellow card in every 2 or 3 matches. That's typical Onyedika. And he will complete most of his passes. He won't lose the ball. He won't lose the ball as much as other players would. You know, and he's a very easygoing, clean player. You know, I would say similar to like a Mikel Obi in his Chelsea days, other than the fact that Onyedika can also go box to box. But he's always a very simple player, easygoing performance. Chidozie Awaziem also came on at the end, but only played 1 minute, so we can't really talk about him. Overall, I think his performance was a solid 6 out of 10. You know, above average because we won the match. You know, if you win the match, you have to, you know, give them a little bit of credit. They didn't lose, they won, they qualified. But we should be doing a lot better than this. We should be performing a lot better than this. I think it was a very solid 6 out of 10. My player of the match was Stanley Nwabali. And against a team like Guinea-Bissau, with all due respect to Guinea-Bissau, you know, I don't expect our goalkeeper to be the player of the match. I don't expect our goalkeeper to be the player of the match. Very unconvincing, very, very uninspiring. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We are through to the round of 16. They can still improve. They can still step things up. They can still get better. As we finish second in our group, we are going to face the second place team in Group C. We are going to face the second place team in Group C. As it stands, that team is currently Guinea. We know Guinea beat us in a friendly before the tournament. But Guinea are going to play against Senegal in their last match of the group stage. And Cameroon are going to play against Gambia. You know, Cameroon and Guinea played a 1-1 draw. So if Guinea lose against Senegal and Cameroon win against Gambia, it will come down to goal difference. You know, Cameroon have -2 goal difference, Guinea have +1. So it really depends on the scores. I'll say probability of facing Guinea as of now is higher. I am praying that we face Cameroon because Cameroon, I don't trust them. I chose them as my big disappointment. So I think that even if we are not at our best, we can beat Cameroon. But at the moment, we probably have a higher chance of playing against Guinea. It's crazy that Equatorial Guinea wins this group. Nobody would have predicted Equatorial Guinea to win this group at the start of the tournament. But the truth is that they were the best team in our group. They played well against Nigeria. They played well against Guinea-Bissau. They smashed Ivory Coast. You know, host nation. They absolutely smashed Ivory Coast. So Equatorial Guinea deserve it. They deserve to top the group. Emilio Nsue is now on 5 goals. I predicted Osimhen to win the Golden Boot. Osimhen, wake up, I beg. I said Osimhen will win the Golden Boot. But a 34-year-old man, Nsue, who plays as a right back for his club in the 3rd division in Spain. Nsue plays in the 3rd division in Spain. He plays as a right back and is the highest goal scorer at the AFCON. You know, AFCON, I love this tournament because anybody can be beaten at any point in time. On paper, you can talk whatever you want to talk. You know, we always talk. But, man, anybody can be beaten. And a team like Equatorial Guinea, this is only their, I think, 4th or 5th AFCON. And they've reached the knockout round in every single tournament that they've participated in. They hosted twice, you know, and then they've qualified twice. But they've reached the round of 16, the knockout stage, in every single tournament. So they are a quality team. But yeah, they are really shocking us. I'll say yes. For now, happy that we went through, disappointed with the performances so far. Let's see what the boys can do to improve. I think since we finished 2nd, we are likely going to play on January 27th. I think I have to confirm the date. I think it's January 27th that we are going to play our game. Let us see who exactly we are going to be facing after Group C play their matches. But not inspired, not happy. Let me bring on my special guest for this evening. Share your opinions on the game and the group phase of the tournament. At least we are not playing Senegal, Abi. A positive. Hello.
Yeah, bro.
Yes, good evening, boss. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm well. We thank God.
Yeah.
But I'm not happy. You know. You've heard what I had to say.
Yeah.
What are your own thoughts on this game that we just played?
No, let's be honest. I think we're expecting something that has never been there. We didn't go to this play with the right squad anyway. It was a poor game today, and you can only judge as good as your last game. It was really bad game today, but at the same time, we didn't. We should expect better than this. I don't know why we're expecting us to do well because no disrespect to the players, but it's just not working. How can you go to a tournament without a proper creative midfielder? That won't work. It won't work, and that's what we've been struggling.
Okay. As far as I'll say, let me ask you. You know, Osimhen, what do you think is going on? You know, I cannot insult him because I still believe he's a good striker.
Yeah.
But he's not showing us in this AFCON. What do you think is going on? What needs to change?
No, I don't. No, I won't blame him. But he's missing too many chances. But his system doesn't work. His system that they play does not give him the chance, the opportunity to. Yes, he's having 1 or 2 chances, but when you get a team that you build a team around him, he will score goals. Just the way he's doing for Napoli. But there's no clean chances that they're creating for him. All the chances he's getting is the cross. Well, that is our problem. So I won't blame it too much, even though he's missing too many goals. I agree with that. But the system is not working.
And I mean, coach for the past 2 matches has played this 3-4-3. Obviously trying to take advantage of the flanks. That's where, you know, if you watch the games, that's where the ball goes to most of the time. And then wingers or wing backs are trying to create something. Chukwueze and Moses Simon, you know, what do you think is going on there? What can they improve on? What can they change to be able to supply, you know, Osimhen more?
This is my opinion. You know, I played the game before. When I was playing, we had people talk about football. If I do something wrong, they criticize me in a good way, so I can take it. But let me tell you the truth. I personally think Moses and Chukwueze are letting us down. I personally think that they let us down because we depend on them so much to bring this whole flashback and make things happen. They're not delivering. They're not playing well. Moses and Chukwueze. So I don't know how the manager will get them to play well. He has to get them to step up the game and play well. If not, they're not just performing in these tournaments. And how can we have someone like Olano and the keeper being the best players in our team when we're looking to win? So I don't know how they'll do it, but the manager has to find a way to get the best out of them boys.
Okay, let's talk about our defenders. They've been solid for the most part. I think I thought Calvin Bassey was good today. I think Mariro too was quite good today. Is that a positive that we can at least look at and say, okay, even though our attackers are not firing, they're not creating as much as possible, can we take solace in the fact that, we've kept 2 clean sheets in our last 2 games? Can that bode well for us going into the knockout round?
From the past, we have to, because we've been conceding so many cheap goals. So you can't blame any defender for keeping the clean sheet. So there's nothing you can say. I still don't think we're compact enough. If we meet a clinical side or a side that knows what they're doing, they will score against us. But so far, we have to praise them for playing well and not conceding goals. But I think there's little chances where we give away to strikers and give away to opponents. If we get a team that knows exactly what they're doing or a clinical striker, they will score against us. But we cannot say that now because they've done well so far. Because you need a good defense to get anywhere. To get to the last 16, you need a good defense, which we've done. But as a team, the intent to go to this Nations Cup and do well has not been there for day one. So we've not done the work and we're expecting to get the result. That's our problem. It's just poor. It's sad to watch, and I don't blame the players that much because these boys are good players. For them to be playing in top teams in Europe, they must be good players. So I just think the system that we have is not just working, and the players as well probably need to step the game up.
And I can see some people in the comments are saying, "I know that's not true. Our defense was solid." But we have to consider the fact that Guinea-Bissau, a team that we think we should be better and we should be beating, had 5 shots on target in this match. Compared to our 1 shot on target. So
listen, when I watch the defense or when I watch, like you asked me the question, I play at the back. I play at the back, so I kind of know the line, how to keep the line. I kind of know that. So I'm not saying they're not good. They're very good for them to keep 2 clean sheets. But I'm just saying the chances that they've given to teams, if they give that to a clinical side, we will consider goal. It's just about improving. And when I watch our team, I don't see what they do in training because as a team, it's not really coordinated. It's like we're just playing and waiting to see what happens. To react to what happens. We don't go down and know what we're doing. And I'm just saying that as my opinion, as the way I understand the game. You might have your different opinion, but I don't think the performance-wise we've done well so far.
Okay. Let's take it one step back, or one position back and talk about our goalkeeper. Stanley Nwabali, has been our goalkeeper for the 3 games so far this AFCON. Yeah. He made 5 saves today, completed 88% of his passes. Even his long balls, 12 long balls, and he completed 9 of them. Do you think he's one that we can trust, that when we get these clinical teams that we're talking about, these better teams that we're going to face in the knockout round, are you confident that we can trust our goalkeeper to be there for us where needed?
He looks like a very good goalkeeper. If I was playing at the back with him, he's been doing things that I'll be happy about. He comes out, he talks, he communicates, he makes you feel he's composed, and it gives you that confidence. So you can't blame him. I think he's interested because them balls, them shots that they give, those deep-in shots, they're very hard to save, and he's done it really well. So far, so good. I just think he's going to get carried away with the overconfidence, on the ball, holding the ball. I think he should just stay focused and not get carried away or trying to overdo it because, mistake happens, and when the keeper makes mistake, they'll punish you. And if you can cut that down and make sure he just stay concentrated and cut down the overconfidence of the ball. Apart from that, I think he's someone that we right now we can trust and say, he's doing well so far.
All right. Big Sam, I'll come back to you, but let me just take one of the people in our audience. Oh, Kat.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I hail you, Big Sam.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
done.
You know, I told you, AyoT, that sorry, I'm not expecting any miracles from this team. Just like Big Sam has said as well. Um, from the get go, it was just like building on a wrong foundation. The players called in, I don't really agree with it, and just like everybody has been saying, um, there's no creativity up front. And you can blame Osimhen as much as you can, but if you see in the game, at every point in time, he had about 3 to 4 defenders on him.
Isolated. Yeah, you're right.
And if he had that, that should play to our advantage because he should leave enough room for the others to sort of like tread. But unfortunately, we don't have the players, or they're not turning up. Chukwueze, terrible as always. I mean, we've been complaining about this guy for God knows when now. He doesn't turn up for Nigeria at all, and he keeps repeating the same feat. Simon, the same thing. So we can't really put too much blame on Osimhen because he's actually doing us a favor by making sure that 3 defenders are on him at
Work
every
hard.
point in time. But then we're not taking the advantage of it. And we need someone in that center attacking midfield position to help us connect the dots. If you watch our play, it's so regimented. It feels like they're not even professionals. I know I've never played professionally. I doubt you have, but except our Big Sam. But you should understand that when we go, it's so regimented. Pass to the side, and then they try to dribble, unsuccessful. He even puts too
Really
much
bad.
pressure on Osimhen because he gets so upset at times when he expects a crossing and it doesn't come, or he expects a pass, it doesn't come, and it's just lackluster performance from us in the 3 games that we've watched. We've just been lucky that we've been able to skim through. Like I said, you remember AyoT, I don't see us going past the second round because if you watch the games, I saw South Africa. Was it South Africa, Namibia? The pace at which they played under that weather. If those guys play Super Eagles, I'm telling you, they're gonna beat us because football at the end of the day is about strength. You might have stuff to do upstairs, like you know what you want to do, but if your body and your strength is not letting you do it, you can't do it. And that's what I've seen in this team. The first 20 minutes, they're bright. Afterwards, they start panting all over the place. You can tell that they're gassing out. So I don't know if that's going to be worked on in the training pitch for their endurance, because you need endurance. If we're playing the North African side, these guys, they play explosive game, even in this weather. But you can see that our players, after like 20 minutes,
Have to keep the
they,
ball.
they, they gassed out. And if you gas out, even though you have things to do, how to beat your player, but then you don't have the strength or the energy to do it, you're not going to do it. And that's exactly what's been going on with our team. And I was watching. Sorry to dive. I was watching the build up to the game, and one of the presenters on SuperSport was saying that they know one thing in South Africa, like Southern Africa, that when you play the West African teams, you just make them run, and it feels like they're right. We gas out too easily for professional footballers. I know the weather is not fantastic, but the other teams are also playing under the same weather, and they're doing well. So I really don't know. And it's been helping Equatorial Guinea a lot. If you watch their games, those guys are tireless. It's not like they're better individually, but they're tireless. And I don't see that in our team. So another abysmal performance by the Super Eagles today. Well, it might be a good thing that we came second. Maybe, who knows? It might be a blessing in disguise that we don't know, but I hope it is. I want to support the team, but trust me, whatever happens, happens. I won't be surprised.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you very much, Okat. Please
Yeah,
remove yourself so I can bring
sure.
someone else on.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so Super Sam,
yeah.
anything to say with regards to what he
No,
just
no.
talked about?
I think it's spot on. I think it's spot on. By the way, even Chukwueze, we're not picking on him, but even Chukwueze, have you watched him play for AC Milan? If you're watching
Yeah, I've watched a few of
football in Italy,
his games.
it's not that in AC Milan. You know what I mean? I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, with the players that we have on paper, they should be playing better. Just from what he said just now about the gassing out thing, yeah. When you have the ball, it's easy for you to keep going, even in the hot weather. You know, I played before. I know what it's like. But when you start chasing the ball, you start chasing and you don't know what you're doing, that's when you gas out. But when you know what you're doing and you got the ball and you keep the ball, we can't even pass 5 passing round. We can't do it. All tournament, we've not done it. Say we keep the ball for like 5 or 6 passes. We've not done it. These are professional players. I'm not knocking it. It's just frustrating to see a Nigerian team play the way they play.
All right. Thank you for that, Super Sam. Me, I go talk. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Bro, like today, this is the worst game we've played in the whole tournament. Like, there was no creativity at all in the midfield. Like, it was struggle after struggle. You know, Osimhen, that I think because he's been going through a rough patch, it's going to be hard for us to just rely on him totally. I honestly think that it's getting to that stage where you're going through a rough patch, relying on this one player, hoping that, you know, you're relying on hope rather than actually practically relying on the practical effort you can get out of him right now. So we need, maybe, even if it's to sub him out in those stages, he might need to come off, because at the moment, it's not giving us what we need. You know, after seeing the way the Super Eagles played, I'm thinking Wankali easily can fit in that team. Like, who's played so good that you're looking at the team saying, oh, he can't, Aribo, for example. You know, like, there's no creativity. For me, the defense is what's taking us there. The defense is actually what's, you know, taking us there with lucky, you know, look at these 2 last games. If there was no penalty or maybe no own goal, because you just said it right, like, you wasn't sure Osimhen would score. You know, we at the moment, with the way he's playing, I'm not even certain he would have scored that goal. So you know, everything for me, it's poor. It's poor. We need to improve, because, like that last guy said, if we get to the next stage, whatever team we meet there will definitely show the holes in our play. So ultimately, they need to improve that midfield. I don't know why people are complaining about Iwobi. For me, I feel like when Iwobi came on, he was actually moving us a little bit, you know, quicker. And that's one
I'm not
thing.
sure, you know. I'm not sure about that.
The play off the ball is not great for the Super Eagles. Like, whenever the ball gets to a certain player, everyone is moving up already. The distance between players are, you know, too far. They don't want, you know, small short passes. They're not relying on short passes at the moment. You know, they want that long ball all the time, because maybe Osimhen is up there, so they're thinking play it up to Osimhen and he will do something for us. But like I said, it's not at his best at the moment. So just relying on that, it's not, you know, what we should be going for. But for me, the defense, what the whole defense department has been, and also one thing I picked up on, whenever Nigeria gets the ball on one of the wings, instead of pushing up, they always want to cut back. Both sides always want to cut back. Like, bro, push up into the box and put the ball in there and hope, you know, someone's in there to finish the ball. It's, let's drag it back. So everyone of the opposite team defense just know, okay, they're gonna cut back, so might as well just, you know, I know what position to take. So, you know, but yeah, that's my 2 cents, man. Hopefully they improve, because it's hard. It's so boring. It's so boring to watch, you know. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for talking like your name says you would. Please just leave on your side so that I can bring somebody else.
No problem. Blessings, bro. Blessings.
And sorry, before you go, hold on. People are saying you look like Ola, you know. Do you happen to be his cousin?
No. No, nothing like that. But Hey, if he means I will get money, oh yeah, yes, I'm your cousin online. No,
All right, thank you very much.
no problem. Bless this.
Okay, somebody in the comments is saying Eagle Tracker is Osimhen's boy. They can't call him out. First of all, I will say you just joined the show and drop comments. I don't know why Nigerians act like this. I literally spent almost like 5 minutes talking about how Osimhen is not delivering. You just joined the show. And then secondly, I am nobody's boy. Please, God forbid batting. I am nobody's boy. Yeah, thank you. I have players that I like. I like Osimhen, but like I said when I was talking about him, I will talk about when a player does good. Osimhen has risen himself to a standard that we consider him to be one of the best strikers in the world. So as much as we will praise him, that's frankly as much as we are going to criticize him when he's not doing well. So yes. Let me see. Shotonwa Ostrom.
Yeah,
I hope I
Taiwo, yeah.
pronounced your name well.
Yeah, you did, right.
Yes. Go on.
So basically, what I can tell about this whole tournament has been that our best match in this tournament was against Equatorial Guinea. Now, a lot of people would think why, because I mean we won against Ivory Coast and all that. But I told a couple of people that Ivory Coast is not really good. I think they are overhyped. Now, Equatorial Guinea seems like a team that came to the tournament to win. If you really watch the way they played. Now, the difference in that match was because we had a player like Yusuf Alahansan that was doing the running, that was trying to be creative, and he brought a different kind of flair to that midfield that we've not seen in a very long time. Now, I know a lot of people are not used to that kind of midfielder, but he does a lot of running, and he brought a lot of difference to the team. Now, the second game against Ivory Coast, our typical kind of game, we hustle every other time, try to get a win, try to get a point, probably, and we're fine. And the same thing happened today. Now, we can't rely on a player like Aribu in the midfield and expect us to win games or to make a difference. A player like Moses Simon, I used to say this, Moses will play one very good game for Super Eagles and will go 7 matches playing nonsense. I mean, that's who Moses had been in the past couple of years for Super Eagles. And players like Lookman had been excellent as well. Now, this particular game, I mean, I wasn't expecting anything much of a difference because we knew we had already qualified. We know that, yes, one way or the other, we would scale through. Hence, that kind of selection. I think our defense has been wonderful. Trust has been great. Basi has been excellent. Every other person, all I know is a typical academy boy. You know the way he plays like an academy boy. If you play football very well, you know that, yes, that's who all I know is, and he's been excellent. Now, up front, Osimhen, I say something about African players, and I mean, anybody can correct me, but I think when we get to a certain level in life or in football, we stop working hard. Now, contrary to a lot of people's opinion, Osimhen, even in his club in recent times, fine, he had injuries and all that, but Osimhen has not been in the best form he was last season. That's a fact. And that same form he brought to AFCON. I think Osimhen could, I mean, fine, 3 players are marking him and all that, but he had some very clear chances that, just make a difference. One goal, headers, like a tapping, he could do better with that. Chukwueze, on the other hand, I see why he's being benched in AC Milan. You can't be playing that bad and expect to be a top player. I mean, Chukwueze has a quality of Anaja Robin, a left footer that can cut you in and all of that. But he has not lived up to that expectation in this tournament. And it's part of our problems because, like someone said, yes, even when 3 people are marking Osimhen, we need our wingers to be very clinical and be very dangerous. I mean, Imani was playing from the flank before he became a number 9, and he scores from there. We need players that, okay, fine, when your number 9 is having a problem and people are holding him up, step up as wingers, create the chances, try to even score goals. It's possible. Wingers can score goals. Chukwueze had our last game against Ivory Coast, there was a 2-on-1 that he should have dropped that pass. Like, just flick it around. That's all. Don't be fancy. And if you were not going to do that, you had another option. Dribble your last man. He was indecisive of what he wanted to do. He didn't even know what he wanted to do at that point. Then just made a pass that it was very easy for the defender to intercept. He has, when someone Cody, if you play football very well, automatic Cody, he has adjusted his body. Automatically, the defender knows what he wants to do already. So we need people that, I expect him to be more clinical than he is right now. He's not doing the best of that. Samuel Moses as well. So I think our best formation, our best team was the team against Equatorial Guinea, and I think that's the team Pastor is likely going to use in the next game. This last game is just a game of okay, fine. We're qualified already. Let's play some
Hey,
players.
we hadn't qualified already.
No, no. Trust me, he knew we had qualified. Being on 4 points before that game, one thing is certain: it's either Ivory Coast draws one way or the other, and we knew we were not going to lose against Guinea. It's either a draw or a win. So one way or the other, he knew that a 5 points was guaranteed, if not the 7 points.
But that's not why. That's not why he changed it. Everyone in that squad is they qualified to play. So he didn't play a wicked side. He picked players, 25 players who he thinks are all capable of doing something in the tournament. So we have to blame him if we say that's a weak team. Because we should not have a weak team. We should not have a weak player, because picking 25 players with the millions of players that we have in Nigeria around the world, you pick 25. They should be not the best, but as a squad, everyone should play. And we shouldn't be saying Joe Aribo played because it's this game. No, he picked him, and because he picked him, he's good enough. I just think as a team, you should pass the ball for a bit. Pass the ball 10 years. 10 years. Get yourself in the game. Big players should do that. As big players, they've really been very disappointing for a long time, and they have to change. Yeah. If not, we'll keep talking about it. I'm not surprised, because when you watch a team play, I don't care. When you watch it, me and AyoT did the female team, didn't we? We did the female team.
Yeah.
We're not just criticizing, we were praising the team, those female girls. When you watch a team play, you will know that they've put some work in the training ground. Yeah. You will know. This Super Eagles team, yeah, I can't see anything that, oh yes, they did that in the training ground. I can't see anything like that. And that's worrying.
And you know why I said, when I said...
Please round up your point, sorry, so that I can just bring some other.
Okay, why I said he loves big players, that first of all, a Yusuf Al-Ansar shouldn't even be on. He shouldn't be a backup player to be called off if indeed he didn't have an injury, and that shows you that our coach loves big players. Just play for a big team, play for a big club, and you get called up. And if you had history with the Super Eagles before, you've been called up a couple of times, he would still call you up, because a player like Alan Ansar should never have been on the backup team in the first place. And why I said Aribo had been very bad, even in club football, he has been very bad. He doesn't play, he doesn't start, and well, I think that's my opinion. Let me just.
All right, thank you very much. Please just remove yourself so that I can bring another person on. I'll come to you in a bit. So let me just ask a question to Super Sam. Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
So Super Sam, what do you think? We are missing. I mean, we had Ndidi get injured just before the tournament.
Yeah.
We had Victor Boniface get injured in training camp.
Yeah.
You know, do you think that things potentially, now we're playing if buts, maybe, but do you think that things could potentially have been different if Ndidi was in that midfield and Boniface was in attack?
No.
Or based on how the team is playing, you think that it would have just been more?
Sorry, I'm not trying to be, negative. No, with this manager, no. I'm sorry. With this manager, no. I don't think the personnel really matters. I think I played the game before. I know what it's like when a manager tells you what he wants you to do. They would tell you, I don't care how big you are, whether you play for Man United or you play. A manager should have a philosophy of how he wants to play, a system, and tell the player, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do. Sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes some international coaches get starstruck. Sometimes. 100%. The players come and they're like, wow. And when you get a decent manager, it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, Man United, Arsenal, wherever, they will tell you how they want you to play. And I think that's our problem. And it's just unfortunate that we're struggling now and we're talking about it when we know the problem. The problem is that our manager is not technically sound enough to be able to handle his voice.
All right. Okay, over to you, ATTK. Thank you for joining the show.
It's my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. Big Sam, how are you, sir?
Not bad, man.
And Yeah, long time, sir. You know what? A lot of people have said it all. And I just want to buttress what Big Sam just said. You know, if you are not technically sound, there is nothing you could do. All these players that we're talking about, the 25 players, they are good players. Individual qualities, skillful. They are individually, they are good. Bringing them together, it takes a good coach
Yeah.
to build a kind of cohesiveness between them. I was watching the game in the last 10 days that this AFCON has started. I'm a proud Nigerian that we qualified, but I'm not proud with the performances. We need to be blunt with this. If you want to talk about performance, the only performance I can say, yeah, it's a fair performance was against Ivory Coast. And the reason why that is because we played a formation that the coach wanted them to play, which is 5 at the back. And we did that. But today, why changing things around? And if you want to change things around, bring in the personnel that can fit in that position. You understand? I saw Osai today. Osai, I don't know him. I don't really watch his game, but I was impressed with what he was doing. At some point in the first half, if you on his right hand side here, there is a lot of space. It's too space, and he can run through the flanks. But we don't have that one person that can play a long cross like JJ Okocha, Oruma, that can hold that ball and play it across. The only person that was trying to do it was our central back, Bassi. He was the one trying to flick that passes all the way to the right hand side. So it is very sad that a nation like Nigeria we can't get a number 10, a proper number 10 that can really, you know, do that trick and then help the attackers. And also, you know, I'm not sure. Big Sam, I just want to ask a question.
Yeah.
You've been with the national team, and I'm just so sad that none of these. Did you normally have a psychologist in your team? Because I'm not sure if this president Igbo has it, because psychologically you could tell that Osimhen is mentally drained. So if you can watch his game a year ago, the way he was playing, he's playing a good football. Those chances that he saw today, a lot of people were criticizing that there is no service, but those little crosses from Aino and the other wingers, those headers should be on target. I don't know if there is no psychologist in that team that can try and work on the psychological side. And also, if you watch him today, if he misses chances, he's been like there is a kind of pressure on himself. He just need to bring that pressure down. I know he's the World African Footballer of the Year and he wants to deliver, but at the same time, he needs to calm it down. Don't do anything extra.
I think what you just said, people might laugh or think it is not important, but it's very important for footballers to have psychology in that camp. That is very important. We used to have it. I'm not sure they have it now, but we used to have a guy called, I can't remember his name now, Okosu, something like that. But he talks to players, you know. It's very important to have psychologists in the camp to talk to players and just see what's going on in their head, because some performers need questioning, you know, when it comes to these games. And just because one last on the AyoT, one last thing, yeah. There's something called brave. When players are brave, like now we're praising the defense, the keeper being brave. Yeah, you need that player, and we have so many players in Nigeria local league. They've not got the exposure, but they're so brave to come and get the ball off you. As a defender, I played with Kocha one time, Kano one time. They will come and get the ball off you. They will ask for the ball every time. Whether crowd, they will take that ball off you every time. We don't have that kind of player anymore. Right now, if you hold the ball, everybody is looking at that way because they don't want the ball. They don't want the ball. So we need those kind of players again. And this is the African tournament. You need to get these African boys exposed enough to come to this tournament and play for us. Not, you know.
Please, let me just say one more thing, please.
Okay,
one more thing. In regards to what Big Sam said now, look at 2013. No one knows Sunday Uba. Sunday Uba came in on the third game, like today's game that we played, and he played well. This is the kind of thing we should do. We should go back. If we cannot get a number 10 abroad, let's go back to our grassroots. And going
10%.
forward, I believe Lookman. If okay, now we are in this situation now. We've got 25 men squad. I believe gamble it. Use Lookman as a number 10. He's a ball juggler. He can use the ball. Just use him instead of him playing from the wing. I just think because Iwobi have done it, he couldn't do it. Joe Aribo did it today. He was nowhere to be found, and there is nobody supporting that. And I believe Lookman can do it. He's an attacking-minded player. Probably he should just play behind Osimhen, and we see what's gonna happen. We just need the creativity in that team, and we cannot get any more player in. We've got 25 men squad. Look at someone that has the attribute of being an attacking midfielder, a proper attacking midfielder that can come, like Sam said, Big Sam said, that can come and collect the ball and use the ball.
All right. Thank you very much. Very passionate contribution. But of course, we understand. We all love the team, and we understand why you are feeling the way you are. Please just remove yourself from your end.
Thank
so
you.
that I can get
Uncle,
another person.
See you later. Okay. Bye.
Okay. I'm coming to you, Uwa, very quickly. But I want to throw another question to our ex-pro here, ex-Super Eagles player, Super Sam Sodje. Okay, so looking at the way we set up against Equatorial Guinea. Some people think Equatorial Guinea, somebody came earlier and said Equatorial Guinea was our best performance. Some people, came and said, oh, Ivory Coast was our best performance. We played in the first game with our traditional 4-4, 4-3-3, actually, not our traditional 4-4-2. And then we switched to 3-4-3 for these other two matches. In your own opinion, based on how we've performed in all three matches, going into the knockout round, more than likely we are going to face one of Guinea or Cameroon. Do you think the coach should, play 4-3-3? Should he stick with his 3-4-3? Or should he even just go back to what he originally knows? Because now media will pressure and made way in change for that 4-4-2 that he has always been playing. So do you think he should go back to 4-4-2 that he knows? Or he should stick with 3-4-3 or 4-3-3?
You see when someone like myself want to answer these kind of questions, this guy they pay this guy a lot of money. I'm sure you know that. He's being paid a lot of money to do what he's doing. You cannot on the back of two games and say this next game I want to play 4-4-2. No, you get a scouting system that was that team and knows what system will fit that team. I can't tell you now and say we're playing Brazil, let's play 4-4-2. How do we know 4-4-2 will win the game? So it's going to be hard for me to tell you play 4-4-2 or play 3. No. Where is the scouting system? If I was the manager, that's what we do. Scout the next opponent, and know exactly how to play. They get the personnel that fits that system. But for me, from day one, I told you before in your show a long time ago, I don't think the squad is balanced. We went to the Nations Cup with less midfielders, and that's killing us. If you want to score goals, it comes from the midfield. That creativity from the midfield, that's when you score goals, not even the strikers. So we're already lacking anyway. So to answer your questions, it's always going to be hard because I don't know who we're playing. It depends on who you're playing to put a system that fits that game. And that's what he needs to do. That's why he's getting paid a lot of money.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Uwa Evoke. Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
No, it's totally fine. It's Uevoke.
Okay, Uevoke.
But I've just got a few things to say before I leave. I think the first thing I want to say is actually the performance of today's game is absolutely shambles, if I'm being honest. Today's game showed how weak Nigeria is. And this is a country, 230 million people we are talking about. Does it mean that NFF doesn't have enough scouts? Like what you guys said, Big Sam, sorry, I didn't recognize you. Sorry, sorry, my bad. But like what our legend said, Nigeria, we have the facilities. I think we have the resources, and we have players and talents in our local leagues. Like you said, Sundemba, 2013, he was nowhere, and he became a big star. We have got Fioboban or something like that. He was a defender, and he linked very well.
Played all the game.
Why are we our problem? I don't even blame the players. I'm blaming the NFS. And if this coach is going to coach Nigeria for us to play our qualifying, that's the end of
Yeah.
Nigeria. You know, and going forward, you know, our performance against Ivory Coast, I would say, is the best because we know Ivory Coast is the host nation, and they have that mentality, knowing okay, cool, these are big names. You have people like Pepe there, you've got Sodje, so they've played with them, they know what these guys can do. And coming into today's game, and with the kind of players we have and what we did today, I don't think if we meet the likes of Senegal or Morocco, if they don't give us 3-0, we are lucky. You know,
Yeah.
we'll be very lucky. So for me going forward is more like actually if we're gonna have more productive Super Eagles players going forward, we have to start integrating these players with local players, like our people that play in our local league. These people have passion. I'm not saying these guys don't have passion, but these guys are hungry. They want to be seen. Why can't we do the same thing? You know, we are here calling people who are already bench warmers in their team. No disrespect, you know, bench warmers in their team, and we have people who are currently playing in Nigeria in Nigerian league, in and out, banging goals. They understand the weather. They understand the physicality of the game. Why can't we use our brains now? So that's my own point, though. So for
Yeah.
me, it's actually a shame if we are with this performance we have today, moving forward, going to play the likes of Senegal, Morocco. We don't have hope. Oh. We don't have hope, and
Okay,
these guys
but
are not.
you're thinking a little bit too far. Because we're not going to face Senegal until we are able to scale
I'm just
past,
saying.
the
I
Cameroons.
know, I know, but if we meet them, we came to this tournament to win. We are not here to show. And with the reputation Nigeria have, we shouldn't even be having this conversation.
Yeah, just one point here, to call
Please.
you off here. Yeah. I'm sorry. Just one point here, Ayo. What we're saying now, the most frustrating part of all this here is we know the problem. I played in Europe when I went to play for Nigeria in African tournaments. Yeah, it's always hard for us. It's always hard. But when we go to camp and see the African boys coming, yeah, my brother, I played in Nigeria. They are so good. What we have that they don't have is exposure. Eh? If not, ability wise, yeah, you can't touch them. They got no fear. They got no fear in the midfield. They'll take the ball off you. They'll do tricks. Yeah. When it comes to African football or someone like us, we are tailored, yeah, to do things like this. Yeah. So it's hard to win African football with a tailored European players. When you go to a place like this, you need one or two free home-based players that got no fear. They got no fear. They'll come in like the culture. They'll do skills. They'll make things happen. That is the problem that we have. But these players, how can you be a chairman of the League of Nigeria and not one player from your whole thing make the squad? Why are you a chairman? What are you a chairman for?
Bros, sorry.
Sorry. Before you go, because whoever, okay, please remove yourself from your end so that I can just bring the
All
next
right, thank
person.
you, Big
Yeah,
Sam. It's nice to
well
see you.
done.
Thank you.
Well
Okay,
done.
over to you.
Okay, Big Sam,
Yeah.
much respect to you as a former international. But I'm very surprised at your comments right now. One thing that really irritates me in this year of our Lord 2024 is still making that distinction of home-based and European or foreign-based. When the current African champions, Senegal, are full of diaspora-born players from their goalkeeper to their forward. They are all full of French. They are essentially mostly from France, and they are the current African champions, and they won the tournament in African soil. Algeria had a lot of diaspora-born players that they integrated into their team when they won as well. So I think the problem has evolved beyond just naming players as home-based and foreign-based. We just need to get our best legs. Now, here's my thing. I don't even want to talk about the players that are not here because we're in the middle of the tournament right now. I want to talk about the players that we brought to the tournament and how we are managing our squad and what our coach is doing with what he brought. I think our coach made a big error today. Against Cote d'Ivoire, you can tell that he came up with a tactical plan based on who he thought was a respected opponent. It was a win for the team, for the country, and there was too much celebration. Now, I feel like he made his decision today based off the euphoria of that win. There's absolutely no reason why the Super Eagles of Nigeria should be facing Guinea-Bissau with 3-4-3 in possession and 5-4-1 mid-block without the ball. There's absolutely no reason for us to give them that type of respect and that type of and to allow them to have that type of confidence that they started to have midway through the first half. That's where the game started to get a little bit sketchy. When we played the first game against Equatorial Guinea, we were our high-pressing 4-3-3 self. We want to keep them. We just didn't convert our chances. If we really want to be honest, we just didn't convert our chances against Equatorial Guinea. And then we came in the second game against Ivory Coast and played a very defensive, disciplined game. Why we came into this game with that same mentality is crazy to me. It's crazy.
I'll answer you that. Yeah, I'll tell you why. You cannot give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. What you're saying, I agree with you. Yeah, it's like me and you're going for a fight, for example. Yeah, and I'm scared of you. Then we get in. I can see that you're scared. I'll be like, oh, he's even scared of me.
Yes.
We don't have the players. Then I'll rephrase why I said African players.
I just told you.
We don't have the players. Yeah, if we had the players, because I play at the back. I play at the back, for example. Yeah, we're playing the whole defense now. I can come and head the ball or save a goal. That's brave. Yeah, but the most brave people in football are those players that don't hide. I prefer them players than myself. Because they will win you games. They will come to you and take the ball off you and pass. We don't have those boys. We couldn't get 5 chances today to pass.
My point is, I think that is too simplistic of an argument. When I believe that today's issue was strictly tactical. You had 2 players in central midfield, Onyeka and Aribo,
rubbish.
Who ball progression and midfield awareness for the both of them is non-existent. And if you're going to play two central midfielders, you have to have those qualities. You cannot sit Iwobi on the bench and play two central midfielders. We will not wait. The ball.
Wait. So a question. This one question for you. One question. Okay. Say for example, let's say you know what's going on in the camp. Yeah. In the squad right now, I think we killed ourselves with the squad first. Well, let's leave that.
That's a whole nother conversation.
We killed ourselves. Okay, now Frank has got a yellow card. Yeah. If Frank gets one more yellow card, okay, now it's good. But midfielders are meant to be more than even strikers. Okay, I'm asking this question now. You're saying those 2 players, which I think was a nightmare. There's no way you play those 2 boys, because it was too much for them. But who in that team that you say you even play, say 3 or 4 in the midfield, that we have the ball? That will do something with the ball. I'm saying to you, we have too many side passing midfielders. Tell me somebody that you put in.
I'm not. Again, I feel like I don't want to talk about who's not here. I'm talking about us using what we have right now. Yeah. So if you play 3-4-3 with a mid block, whenever you gain possession of the ball, your transitions almost have to be perfect. And now you have 2 central midfielders who cannot transition. You have your your right center back was having a nightmare today. Chemi Ajayi in possession could not do anything with the ball because everything in front of him was vertical. All the runs in front of him was vertical. Nobody was coming short. Nobody was telling him.
My bro, from experience,
that was having.
Bro, I agree with you.
I'm going back to the way we were set up. I'm going back to the way we were set up for this game today. For this game, we should have gone to our first game. Yeah. The way we played our first game, we should have play with 3 central midfielders, play on the front foot, start from the very beginning. Yeah. And then why are you playing Samu and Moses Simon together?
Yeah.
The both of them together.
No. I think you're right. I think the intent wasn't there. I think you're spot on. The intent wasn't there. The intent of going to be there wasn't there.
So my thing is this: how far we go in this tournament, squad management. 100%. And the one player that we have not seen yet that almost always seems to rise to occasion whenever we put a little bit of pressure on him is Kelechi Iheanacho. We may not like him, or we may not listen, but the guy comes through for us more often than not. So we have to figure out a way. I don't see how he's going to play in this 3-4-3, 5-4-1. There's no room for him. So we have to figure out a way to get him on the field. Otherwise, they come out to quarterfinal. They come out sharply.
Okay, let me just jump in quickly. Sorry, for people in the comments that are saying I should add them. I think IG is glitching. I've been trying to add people. I can't even see the request anymore. Somebody's saying that he can't seem to send a request. So I think it's a glitch from IG. They're like, these people are complaining too much. We don't want anybody to join again. I wish I could add you, but unfortunately I can't. But I want to ask a question, to Super Sam and also to you because you brought it up, Mr. Trent. In regards to playing this 3-4-3 for this match, Super Sam, you've been in professional setups, you've been in Super Eagles before. Could it be that because the coach, the first time he ever played this formation was in the friendly before the tournament against Guinea, and then he played it against Ivory Coast and the friendly against Guinea was not a good one. We lost 2-0. He played it against Ivory Coast and it worked. Could it be that he wants the team to maybe master the setup a little bit more, thinking that, okay, if I go to the knockout round and I play against a tough team, this is how I would want to set up again? Could it be that that's why he, against a lower, team like Guinea-Bissau, quote unquote, could that be why he kept the 3-4-3? Super Sam, what do you think?
No, I just think he is making it up as he goes along. I don't think he has that brain to think what you just said just now. I think he's just making it up as he goes along. That's what I think. Because if you're playing against like the gentleman said, I think I stand with him. If you're playing against this kind of team, you go out there with an intent to beat them, and you go with an attacking frame of mind. You shouldn't set up a team the way we did today. That's my opinion.
All right.
But you might be onto something. Get that to be our base formation going forward.
Sorry, we lost you for a minute there. What did you say?
I said you might be onto something there, that maybe he wants that to be our base formation going forward, and he was trying to see other players in that formation, like Aribo. He wanted to see Aribo in that formation to see what he had in case, whatever. And I hope he has seen enough to know that that's not a solution going forward. Honestly, man, seriously.
But
maybe.
But do you think your system? You make your system before you, or regardless of who you're playing, or you create your system depending on who you're playing?
For me personally, I think your personnel is the number one thing. If you want to have the flexibility of going to multiple systems, you have to have the personnel to be able to have those options. If you have the personnel, then you can tailor it to who you are. Use your players' strength and put the strongest team out there. That's just how I think. I think he's learning. I think the guy is learning his team, and he's using this tournament to do that. I just hope that he's making the right things going forward.
How can you have so many years under your belt? No manager, no coach has the luxury to get so many games and say he's learning. No country will allow you to do that. We've the caliber of players that we have on paper. No country will allow you to do that. You can't learn on this kind of job. You cannot learn. It's not something that you do. As a player, I'm telling you now, I think the minute that man walks into the dressing room, and by the way, I've met him a couple of times. I've spoke to him a couple of times. Yeah, he knows his football. I don't think he knows what Nigeria need. That's my personal feeling again. And I've met him a lot of times. I've spoke to him.
And I've also heard third party from a lot of the players that they are having a problem communicating with him. I've heard that very, very well. So I don't know if that has anything to do with this, what we are saying right now. I don't know. But I've heard that from very trusted sources that communication is a big issue with him.
Okay, Super Sam, I have another question for you. Looking at the entire group stage, we ended up finishing second in the group behind Equatorial Guinea. It's funny because obviously coming into the tournament, most people thought Nigeria and Ivory Coast were the two teams that would finish on top of the group. But there was also still the possibility that we could have finished second behind Ivory Coast. People thought it was possible. Now that we've seen how we shaped up and Equatorial Guinea finished above us, is that something that we qualified? We acknowledge that. But should we be disappointed that, when Ivory Coast, that's supposed to be a competitive team, failed to impress, that we couldn't take advantage and finish top of the group? Should we be disappointed in that?
No, because we're Nigerians here. That's what we're talking about. Squad players. This is a tournament. It doesn't really matter how you win it. Let's be honest. It doesn't really matter how you win it. If we can struggle, get to as far as we get. It doesn't matter who comes first. It doesn't matter who comes second. But because we are Nigerians, we're concerned. Even though we win this tournament, we need to get better. We need to be better than this. But to answer your question, it doesn't really matter how you get to the promised land, as long as you get to the promised land. So whether we come second or we come first or we win the qualifier with penalties, it doesn't matter. We get there. But with the quality that we have, with the kind of country that we have, we should be doing better than what we're doing. And that's my own point.
And you know, I'll take you back to just the last AFCON where we went 3 for 3 and topped our group, only to get to the next round and do a choke job against Tunisia. So there's no finishing first, finishing second. I could care less. You know, I think it's more about the type of performance that we are putting. I was one of the few who were not too upset after the Equatorial Guinea game because we created so many chances. You know, so that's all you can ask for is put yourself there to be able to score those goals, and then hopefully when it's your day, you score 4 or 5 of them. The Ivory Coast game, I said, okay, they had a plan, they executed the plan, they came out with their 3 points. So kudos to them. Now this game, pissed me off. This one, even though we came out with 3 points, it was a poor performance all around, and it started and ends with the coach on this game. This game.
Okay, let me ask you guys another question. You know, looking at Ivory Coast, you know, obviously we're looking in hindsight. Hindsight is 2020. You know, we played against them, respecting them, believing that they have the quality to do something against us, and we, you know, rolled over to a 1-0 win. We were happy. Even I came on live, I was happy that we beat Ivory Coast. You know, and then Ivory Coast today now against Equatorial Guinea, they slapped them 4. You know, so in hindsight, do you think like maybe the Super Eagles were not actually that impressive against Ivory Coast too? You know, or was it still a good performance?
No, it still goes back to you're only as good as your opponent, to be fair. You're only as good. Even this team we're talking about, we might play Senegal now, and Senegal might have an off day, and then we do well. So you're only as good as your opponent. But when it comes to Ivory Coast, even from the first game, they were poor. But the last game that we played, our game against them, if I had come online and say, we did well, but Ivory Coast was poor, people will think you're hating. People will think you're hating on the Super Eagles. But they were so poor, really poor side. So, you know, but in a tournament, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens in the tournament. What matters now is how do you look after yourself and get as far as possible, if possible, win the trophy. If not, performance-wise, because we're poor from the first day.
I think for that question, I was surprised with the way we approached the Côte d'Ivoire game. I think that was the first time I've seen us give an African country that much respect intentionally. When we played Algeria in South Africa, they took the ball from us. We couldn't get it wasn't us giving them the ball. This was the first time that I saw us play like an underdog European team, conceding possession and trying to play on the break. It was interesting to see because then Côte d'Ivoire, like everybody's saying, started running out of ideas. So it was hard for me to say whether not Côte d'Ivoire they play well, or are we just so tactically disciplined that we are giving them no options to play and we are doing whatever the heck we want with them. So I don't think that what we did in that second game was necessarily a bad thing. It just shows that we are capable of playing that way if need be and coming out on top. But we should not have played that way today. No way.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go on.
One other thing, is easy for you to have that system that we play against Ivory Coast, as a team to play than planning to go and win a game. I'm telling you this one from example, it's easy for you to set up a team and say, let's do this. But when you play a lesser team, I'll give you an example. I'm not going back to my days though. Let me just give you an example. One year we played in the league and we beat Derby in the league, the last game in the league, 5-0. Went to the Champions League finals, they beat us 1-0. Because when it comes to a time where take the ball and create something and win a team, that's where you know how technical good you are. I've played games where we look to the bench and we need help. No matter how big you are as a player, no matter who you play for, you look to the bench and you need help. You need someone from the bench to say, hey, you go there, you go there. You need that. But once you're on the pitch, you need that technical help from the bench. We don't have that. We do not have that. So all this one say we play defense. This guy is not sound enough to in the middle of the game and say this is not working. Let's do this. This is not working. It doesn't have that in his locker.
Sorry, because before you go, I want to just piggyback on that. Super Sam. So there was like one or two people in the comments that said, "How can we blame the coach when the players had 11 shots but only one own goal?" You know, do you agree with that? Like, we shouldn't be blaming the coach. He's not going to come and teach Osimhen how to not ball now. He's not going to teach him how to
True.
So what do you think about that?
No, yeah. I agree with what he said. Yeah. You know, we can only blame the coach for so much. If the players are not performing, let's forget the goals. Yeah, you have to be ready to run more, tackle more, win more tackle. You know, second ball. You have to be ready for that. So I agree with the guy that said the players have to take some blame. They have to. But if you set up a team properly, I think the chances of you winning is high. The percentage is going to be high. So we've already been on the minus because of the setup of the team. But yeah, the players have to listen. The players, I don't want to use the word overhyped because that's really against every man that is working hard. I don't want to use the word that they're overhyped. The players have to do better. We have to do better. We have to.
No, yeah. Coach Aspirant, you wanted to say something before I ask my next question.
I think previous people have spoken on it, but we have to solve this Osimhen conundrum. It's a problem. It's a problem. His head. I don't know if it's his head or whatever it is right now. Osimhen is not confident in himself, and with the way we are playing, we are not going to escape too many games with him not having his scoring bits on.
Yeah.
We need him. Yeah. We need him firing.
And okay, let me ask you guys to round off now. We'll end in the next 4 or 5 minutes. But I want to ask you, they say big games are made for big players. You know, big players step up when the lights are bright and everybody's looking at you, you know, and you have to do something. That's when big players step up. So Osimhen, who we think is our number one star, we think is number one star in Africa. You know, Super Sam, based on your experience, do you think that, okay, right now, group stage, you know, he's not firing, but when the lights get bright, when we get to the knockout stages, you know, when we need him, absolutely need him to score a goal, do you have that confidence that he will rise and become a star?
You know, he has proven that he's a good scorer. Like proven, no one can ever say he's not a good scorer or he's not good. But that's not the case. The case is top players perform when they get the chance. He had the chance to score a couple of goals now. He had the chance to score the first game. He didn't score. Top players, they turn up in every occasion. So if you don't have the team to turn up for you in the big games, you're still not going to turn up. You're still not going to turn up. But there's some things that he has to do. So yeah, he might turn up, but I'm not sure this Nigerian team will even turn up for the big games. The big games will overwhelm these players because of the way they play.
And I mean, if we are saying that the big games overwhelm all our players, then does that mean we don't have any true big player in our squad?
I'm going to push back.
Players.
Let me push back small on that big game talk, because I feel like regardless of what happened today with Côte d'Ivoire, that second game was a pretty big game for those boys.
Pressure
was on, and you could tell they all came to play.
Pressure
for that game. Everybody was locked in. So in a way, I'm kind of happy we didn't come out today and beat Equatorial Guinea 4-5-0 and say we are going to second round. There would have been a little bit too much singing and dancing in the camp, you know, for the next few days. Now they put together a patch performance. Everybody's ratcheting up the pressure.
Turn up now
again, saying, "Come on, guys, let's go. Let's see what you have." You know, and so I think Osimhen has to understand. It's one thing to be named African Player of the Year. It's another thing to create legendary moments. Osimhen doesn't have a legendary moment yet in the green, white, green. This is his chance. Let him do it. This AFCON. Let him do it.
They say it's not helping though, but yeah, you know, fingers crossed. But Ayo, to answer your question, come on, these boys cannot play for these big clubs if they're not good players. No one should ever say they're not good player. I know what it takes to play for a European team. They ain't going to pay you that much money if you're not good enough. They are good players. You just need to get them to perform, and that's where we're lacking.
Okay, I think I have two more questions before we round off this evening. The first one is Super Sam. This is mainly for you because you know you've been there and done that. We have players on our bench like Kelechi Iheanacho, who was injured at the start of the tournament and is just recovering from injury. He hasn't played a single minute yet. We have Terry Murphy, fully fit. Was firing for his club. We didn't call him at first. We now went to go and remove him from his club and say, "Yeah, come and sit on our bench." We have someone like Alassane Yusuf that is going to be coming back potentially in round of 16 match. Do you think? And I'll focus on Iheanacho now because Iheanacho is a senior man in the team normally. We can typically count on Kelechi to put in a good performance for us in most matches. If we now bring him in, say in the round of 16 match or a quarter-final match, having not played a single minute in the tournament, would he be able to? Do you think he will be able to rise to the level that we'd expect in a high-pressure
Oh
game?
yeah. 100%. Because that's why he's there. That's why he's there. He doesn't have to play every game. I think when Amunike scored those two goals, I think that was his first game. He he might even have that desire to even help the team. Yeah, he will come on and do well. But at the same time, you're not in training with them. These guys, they see them in training, they know what's wrong with them for them not to play him now. So hopefully he comes and does the trick. But to answer your question about if he will come in and because he has not played before,
No,
I
okay,
don't
so
think that'll be a problem. I
no,
think
no, I'm not really thinking because he has not played. I'm thinking because he was injured and he's
that's
recovering. But
that's if it's me, I don't know. I can't say because I'm not in camp with them. I don't know how bad the injury is. Maybe it's worse than it is, but you just never know. But say if he's okay after the injury, it's worth bringing on the pitch, and I think he will perform if he comes on.
100%.
I think he will perform.
100%. I think it would have leaked out if he wasn't training and he wasn't fit. Our camp be like basket. Nothing with they hide for that camp. It will leak out that Kelechi is not fit. Kelechi is not training. It will be out by now. He's fit and he's training. He's probably not match fit because he hasn't played for I think 3 weeks now. He
Yeah.
hasn't played any game for about 3 weeks now. So I would have thought that this was the game to give him 15 minutes, let him feel the ball, and then especially when we found out that Equatorial Guinea was knocking Ivory Coast 4-0, either way we're going to be second place. We need Kelechi. We absolutely need him if we're going to win this AFCON.
Seriously.
okay, second part of that question. Some people in the comments were suggesting it earlier. Do you think? And I think to make a decision like this will take some big cojones. Whoever is making a decision. But do you see any possibility of the coach in the round of 16 benching Osimhen and playing a Terry Murphy?
No. What
He
I should have
won't
done,
die.
yeah. If it's me, what I should have done, I swear, I would have put Murphy today and played at 2 today. Yeah, I would have. But you cannot. Who are you? You cannot
He won't
afford
die.
to drop him for the quarterfinal. They will sack him before the game starts. They will sack him before the game starts. But because Osimhen has earned that. That's why. So no matter how bad he is, this like you call the big games, he has to start, and hopefully he perform for us.
Okay, and then to round off, it's a two-part question. One, we don't know our opponents yet, but mathematically is most likely Guinea or Cameroon.
Yeah.
Are you feeling good about our chances, going up against either of those teams?
That is why I get upset talking about the national team because I can't tell you. I don't know what Super Eagles will turn out. So I can't. But when you know what Super Eagles will turn up, you say this or that. But I don't know what Super Eagles that will turn up. I don't know.
I think if it's Cameroon, we'll beat Cameroon. Very confident in that in that one. The Cameroon that I showed up to this AFCON has been hopeless. But if it's Guinea, it'll be a difficult game. but I still expect us to go through.
Guinea is a good side, man.
Yeah, Guinea is a good
side.
Guinea is a good side, but Cameroon will beat Cameroon. That one, it's sure for us die.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not sure what's likely to turn up. That's our problem.
Whether or not the bad one turn up, we'll still beat Cameroon.
I mean, I chose Cameroon before the tournament started. I chose them to be my disappointment of the tournament.
Confirmed.
So I would expect us to, beat Cameroon. But these days, you never know what's really going to happen. Like Super Sam said, we don't know what side is going to turn up. Okay, and then my final question to you guys, before I let you go and we close the show for this evening. After seeing 3 matches of this tournament so far, if you had to stake maybe 1 week's or 1 month's salary, how far do you think the Super Eagles can go? Now it's knockout. 1 match, if you lose, you're gone back home. So if they said no, 1 month salary is on the line, you have to choose. I'll go with Kosa Chen first, then we'll end with you, Super Sam. How far do you think the Super Eagles will go in this tournament?
The fan in me will say we are going to win the trophy, confirmed. But from what I've seen right now, my head tells me a bronze medal or 3rd or 4th place finish is probably where we are going to go. That's
golden bronze.
Yeah, that's probably where I see us. But obviously, I want to lift the trophy, man. I want to see Musa carry that trophy so he can leave us alone after that.
All right, Super Sam, how about you? 1 month salary on the line. What do you think?
Goes back to when from the beginning. I think we didn't come with the right squad. We play 3 games now. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. It would be wrong for me to say I don't want to win it yet, but I don't think we got a chance of winning it. There's too many good teams in the tournament for us to win it. I personally think we're already punching above our weight. Already,
you think finishing second is punching above our weight?
100%.
Wow.
With the technical side that we have, I think we're already punching above our weight, and it's so sad for me to say this, but It is what it is. It is what it is.
Wow.
I think we might go through the next round. Anything that happens from now, I think is a miracle. I think it's a miracle. That's how not harsh, but that's my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to my own opinion. Yeah. I think anything happens from now, quarterfinal, semi-final, I think it's a miracle because we're not performing, to the way we meant to be performing.
All right. Thank you very much, Kosache, and thank you very much, Super Sam Sodje, for joining me and for sharing your thoughts. I'll let you go now. Thank you very much. It's Super Sam, always nice talking football with you.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys.
Yeah, take care,
guys.
Okay, so there you have it, guys. There you have it. That has been our post-match live show featuring ex-Super Eagles player Super Sam Sodje. He doesn't have high expectations. Kosachen says, he thinks we can finish, with a bronze medal. My prediction at the start of the tournament was that Nigeria would finish 3rd. That was my prediction at the start of the tournament. I'm going to stick with that prediction because, even if it's to roll over and just 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, I think we have a chance. We can beat Guinea 1-0, go into the quarterfinal and we can win another 1-0. And then semi-final, win another 1-0. And then we can win the 3rd place match again, 1-0. And we just finish the tournament knowing that, yes, we score 1 goal in each game. 7 games, 7 goals, 3rd place. And I think we'll all be fairly satisfied. As far as winning it, I think if we want to win this tournament, we need to step up our performances. We need to step up our level. But, maybe when the team plays against tougher opponents, maybe they too would rise to the occasion. That's what we are hoping and we're praying to see when we face the tougher teams. But yes, it's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Akko Adams, we are playing most likely either Guinea or Cameroon. We don't know yet because their own game is not until tomorrow, I think. So we don't know yet, but it's going to be either, in my opinion, either Guinea or Cameroon. Unless Guinea can shock Senegal, and Senegal should, finish second, there's a bit of mathematics still involved, but I think it's either Guinea or Cameroon. So yes, thank you very much, guys. Always a pleasure talking to you. We wish the Super Eagles all the best. Not the most fantastic performance against Guinea-Bissau today, but they have at least 4 or 5 days before their next match. So there's time to prepare, there's time to make corrections, and there's time to improve on the performances. And hopefully we can see some of the likes of Kelechi Iheanacho coming into the side. Probably Terry Murphy gets a couple minutes, and things move on from there. Until next time, my name is AyoT. This is Eagle Striker of Nigerian football. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Bye-bye.